Well, hello, it's Matthew David. And I got this on today. I had to go to a funeral. So why not, why not look the role and why not show up in honor and respect? And finally getting back in the groove. And I wanted to just let you know that there was about 24 hours left that I'm offering the one-on-one mentorship coaching. And it's at a substantial discount if you're looking to do that. And there's a few reasons that it might be beneficial for you if you're looking to go to the next level. So reason number one is that last year I was able to 20x from the techniques and everything that we've been using. We just got done teaching them at the Ascended Master Retreat. And if you didn't get a chance to fully immerse yourself in that, then this would be the time. Or if you want to continue that process and that progress, this would also be the time. The second thing is mentorship is success without the weight. It is learning from another's mistakes so that you don't have to make the same mistakes. And the third thing is that you're going to earn the average of your top 5 closest advisors and the people that you let into your life. And if you don't have someone in your life that is willing to be that person for you, you can actually get access. Because I'm a minister, I've dropped the price down to the lowest amount that I would possibly be able to, take my time away from my family and my other obligations, that I could schedule that just for someone to have a private session with me. So you get a full private session that's recorded on Zoom. It's all about you. It's all about your transformation. And what we do with that is I want to focus on one primary thing, really. I mean, we can get you unstuck at any level, but the main thing I want to focus on is if you are caught in a situation where you could be displaced, where you could be obsolete in your profession, or maybe the cost of the inflation is a major concern for you, and possibly you have thought about this and you just don't know where to go, you don't know where to turn. And not that I have all the answers, and I'm not a financial advisor, by the way, but what I have done throughout the last decade plus is I've been able to launch repeated multiple companies that I built from the ground up. And there's a way to do this, and I learned it going through studies of marketing and psychology and all sorts of things that kind of take you behind the scenes of what's really going on, and then combining it with wisdom. And wisdom says that prosperity is a place. It's not just, money and things like that. It's actually a place. And so being where you're supposed to be in life is where prosperity is guaranteed. So what I want to teach people how to do is what I learned is to go into creating the you that you were meant to be and stepping into that reality. Because once you do that, the self-image that you'll develop reinforces itself. Now, isn't it amazing that I've never had to dress like this in order to 20x? I mean, isn't that something that I've never had to be anything other than my authentic self? I don't have to show up like this to try to impress anybody, although this is fun. I do like doing this. But I will tell you that when you're in the place that you're supposed to be, you could even be like me and wear a baseball hat and walk around looking like you're just going to the gym all day, because it's pretty much what I do. And you can prosper. Because when you're doing the thing that you were engineered to do, and you're on purpose in that way, in that capacity, then things come to you a lot easier. And everything is flow. It's all downstream. It's all coming to you naturally. It's your natural thing. And out of that place, you can build a victory mindset. And one of the things I'll just share with you real quick is a lot of people want to do a home-based business. They want to start something. They want to do it piggybacking off someone else's ideas. And, that seems like it's a good idea for a lot of people because, hey, the risk is minimal and the rewards are always, touted to be substantial. And while that may be one option, what I've discovered is that I never really made a lot of success or money or anything like that taking somebody else's idea and riding with their ideas, all right? What I've discovered how to do is to really look at within and to know which chapter of life I'm in, what the seasons mean, what I've gone through, what I can help other people transform into becoming, and step into that space and create a whole transformation out of that space, which makes it so that I'm really not working at all. I would love this and I would do it anyway. If it were free, I would do it anyway. So ask yourself a question. Is if every job paid the same amount of money, let's say everything paid $50 an hour, it doesn't matter what you do, you could be a doctor, a lawyer, you could be an entertainer, it doesn't matter, everything paid the same, what would you naturally be drawn toward? Now that's a good idea to start looking in that place, and what I will do is if you work one-on-one with me, I'm going to spend a 10-hour block with you as a VIP, and we'll do it in 20-minute sessions or 30-minute or 40 or an hour, depending on how much time you need, but you get to use the full 10 hours. And it's all recorded for you, and it's from point A to point Z. And what it is it's a bespoke workshop. So everything you would have received in the weekend workshops, you have access to all of that because it's all right here, and you can pick and choose as you desire. If any part of your life is saying, hey, I need this information, I'll just give it to you. If you need some wisdom, if I have it, I'll give it to you. But most importantly, I want to help you transition into being sovereign. And what I mean by sovereign is this: to be able to live on providence alone. Now, that's a big idea. Imagine this. People come to me all the time and they say, Matthew, what do you actually do? And I say, well, follow the fastest path to my joy in every moment and do what I love. And they're like, so what is your job? And I've said, well, other than a minister and an entrepreneur and CEO and things like that, ultimately, I just follow my bliss. And they don't understand it. But they don't understand that that bliss turns into books, it turns into workshops, it turns into the investments, it turns into everything. And I don't have to think about it. I don't think about that tomorrow. I don't think about it at all. It all just comes. And that's the faith that I really believe you need to get to the fourth density living. And so what I want you to do is, if you're working with me directly, is I want to show you how to get to the fourth density, the fourth dimension, okay? That is where you rise out of the collective matrix, if you will, and you're no longer bound by the programming from the indoctrination camps that you went to, called the AKA public fool system and all the other things that they taught you. They taught you how to be a servant and a slave in a Babylonian debt slave system. And you were never engineered to do that. What you were engineered to do is to follow your childlike essence, your bliss, and to live on faith and to allow God to be true, every man a liar, and to be governed wholly and substantially by divine love. And so when you get the consciousness to do this, and you can dig within yourself, and I have a complete transformational process from point A to point B to show you this, who you were meant to be, first and foremost. What would be probably the best bet for you? If I were an intelligence officer and I had to look at your life and I had to say, probability speaking, I want to dial it into a 90% success ratio to say that you'll probably succeed at this if you do this as your own sovereign entrepreneurship, okay? How can I know these things? Well, how you know these things is to discover who you're talking to. What are their pains? What are their passions? What do they talk about? All these questions lead me to a place where I can create a constellation of who you are. And when I can see that entire constellation of your life experiences and all the driving forces that are governing you and your pains and pleasures, your background, your history, I can see the bullseye. And when I see the bullseye, I can show you the bullseye. And when you get the bullseye, what you'll discover is your true essence. And that will be your perfect place of assignment at this season of your life. And when you step into that, what you will discover is you will discover the providence that you're looking for. See, you cannot discover the faith until you're doing what you were engineered to do. And so I just wanted to make this quick video to just say, listen, if you're on the fence, let me tell you a little something. If I were to have to bill you for the time that would be appropriate for taking my time away from what I do, it would be at least 3 to 5 times, probably substantially more what is being offered for that VIP package. Now, in addition to that, if I can, I will draw in whatever is needed to support you along the way. So if you need something that I have access to, my network, the people that I know, some sort of affiliate connection that I can make for you, I'll do that for you. I want you to leave better than where you came in by a multiple of at least 10x. I want you to be able to at least 10x over the next 12 months. I don't think that's a very big deal. I think it's probable and I think it's doable for anybody who discovers what I'm going to help you discover. Because when you stop going against the grain and you stop thinking, which usually means you're not where you're supposed to be. You're not living in the moment all the time. If you're not living in this moment, in every moment, fully supported by God, knowing that God governs your entire existence and that every moment is your fastest path to your joy, then whose life are you really living? Whose life are you living? And if you're not living your life, then why would you expect to be prospered according to the way that you were designed? It's like taking a Lamborghini and taking it off-roading, taking it mud flapping, right? Does that work? No, but most people, because of the indoctrination that they've been given, have been taught to fit into a box that has nothing to do with them, and they were never engineered to be in that box. No different than taking, a pickup truck to the, to the racetrack. It doesn't make any sense, but yet 80% of people are doing this all day, every day, living according to somebody else's rules because they're afraid and they lack knowledge. For lack of knowledge, my people shall perish. So it has been my journey for the past at least a decade to be obsessed with wisdom. I love wisdom. Wisdom is the answer to every earthly human problem. And so everything that you're going through is really just a missing thing that you're going to learn. And if you get that thing, chances are it solves much quicker. Case in point, I told everybody at the Ascended Master Retreat, I said, listen, you need to use your network. You need to go for mentorship. The shortcut to success is mentorship. It's not what you know, it's who you know that determines your net worth. You should write that down. It's not what you know, it's who you know that determines your net worth. Period. End of story. Use your network. If you don't have one, build one. The best investment you could ever make is in wisdom. Now, I'll give you an example. So I have a good friend who came to the workshop and he was also in the online one, and he mentioned in the online workshop that he had this severe back pain going on for quite some time. Well, as soon as he said it, because I've done over 12,000 hours of natural health study and I've had to either become a scholar or die in my own existence, instantly I knew the answer because wisdom told me, and I also just knew it. And I said, this is your answer. And I told him, and he applied it, and he's gotten substantially better in a short period of time, and I expect he'll be completely 100% set free from that. And he told me, he said, listen, he goes, you're absolutely right. He told me in person here at the workshop. He says, it took you less than 5 minutes. And he goes, I can't believe I waited so long. He had gone to this workshop and he finally brought it up. And I said, if you would have brought it up 3-4 months ago, you would have been free already 3-4 months ago. So what is your time worth? You see, what is your time worth? That's the question. And I'll tell you one thing, if you don't value your time, you can never be prosperous. If you don't value your time, you will never reach the pinnacle of your success. And that's why I put a value on my time. That's why I can't give away myself all the time, all day, every day to do these things. And that's why I do raise money for the ministry if you want to book me out. And I raise the least amount possible because I don't need that money, but I need to take in that money to get that relationship so that you take it seriously and you actually do it, right? There has to be an exchange. And you have to use your mentorship team. I have 5 people on my speed dial that are my mentor council. And in the moment where I get stuck, in the moment, I call them. In the moment. Because my time is extremely valuable. Because if I spend a day out, a month out, a week out, 6 months out from being productive, what does that do? What does that cost the people around you? if you spend 3 months in a lower vibration, in a depressed state, in a lack or poverty situation where you know that somebody has the answer, but you're not tapping into that resource. You see, you can do this. You can scale up. The key is leveling up. It's levels. It is actually reaching out for help and investing in the wisdom. It's how I made all my great breakthroughs. I continue to do that. It's the real secret. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And it's the networks that you tap into. And it's that communication that happens at the unconscious level that creates that certainty and that expectation, and it gives you that boost you need. So I just wanted to put that out there, a little bit of, rambling to say just, hey, do the mentorship if you want. It's going to close down in about 24 hours. I actually have almost a full schedule going on here, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this. So I'm going to develop a new workshop. I've been working on some new things, and I want to try some of these new ideas along the way, and I want to get feedback, and I want to, refine and fine tune all this. So I do have an ulterior motive. I want to have some people that I can work with so I can refine my skill of working with people. All right, because I want to bring the next level workshop when we go do our next workshop. I want to bring the next level. It's always about the next level. So imagine a coach without players, right? You got to have that interaction. So I'm looking for proteges. I'm looking for top players, people that want to be at the top of their game. I study excellence. I model excellence. I pursue the people who are the best in the world at what they do. I model them. I invest in their wisdom. And then I do what they tell me to do, and then I reap the benefits of doing that. And so that is a prosperity cycle. That's how this game works. And so you don't have to wonder what your future is going to look like. I'll tell you what your future is going to look like. It's in your daily habits. Yeah, it's not going to be determined on what the world is going to do, because that's always going to be stirring up strife. The law of the outer aeon is envy and strife. It's not going to change. It's a simulation. It's between you and you, actually. And so you have to ask yourself, okay, if I keep doing what I've always done, I keep getting what I've always gotten, is it enough? And what am I going to do about it? Because if you want to change your life, you got to change your life. You got to actually do something different. And one thing that you could do different, the fastest path to success is mentorship. That's it. Full stop. And so this is the year, 2022 is the year of transcending the limitations, all right? Our ministry is going to go to that level. So I want to work with some people. My schedule's almost completely booked. I've got almost all the people that I need to kind of get the accurate feedback to build the next level workshop and to give 100% of myself every single session so that I can impart everything, right? I need to give of what I've been given so that I can create that success in that prosperity cycle. What you make happen for others, God makes happen for you. So I'm in the game. I'm ready to give 100 of myself and then scale to the next level, because we're all on that next level journey. So with that said, the link is below. If you want to do this, time's almost up. Take advantage of it if you feel inclined. And if you don't sweat it, because what I'm going to do, and I'll tell you this up front, is I'm going to launch another virtual workshop training, and I think I'm going to do a free class, maybe in the next month or so. I'm going to do a free mini boot camp class on some of the new ideas I'm working with, just to see. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to aggregate the interaction with the new proteges and the new players coming in, and I'm going to be able to have enough data by that time to actually bring some of that out and test it and see where we're at. And so I'm going to launch a little mini boot camp, and then that'll probably lead us into the next live workshop in Florida sometime in January, maybe mid to late January, something along those lines is what we're speculating on right now. So yeah, it's a time to really level up. Okay, that's why I even change my appearance every now and then to level up. Sometimes I don't like to wear sweatpants all the time, even though I'm always going to the gym. You should always challenge yourself to see if you can do something even better. And that's what I'm going to do in 2022. I realize that what I've done is already done. I can't rest on yesterday's success. It's over. You should feel that same way too. What you did 10 years ago is over. You don't have the identity of yourself 10 years ago. Ask yourself, can I even improve upon that? Because guess what? Remember, it comes back to time. What is the most valuable thing that you were given in this 3D? It was your time. And what is that time to be used for? The will of good for others, because that's the definition of love. You're here to be in service of love to others, and the will of good for others is love, and to refine yourself and to give of yourself is how you create prosperity in your life. It's always a reaching up process and then a giving out process. And so you reach up for more, you invest in the wisdom, you bring it in, and then you give it out. And then what happens is you create the prosperity cycle in your life, and you get wealthier and wealthier and wealthier, because what you put out comes back, and you can't outgive God. So you have to try. You have to try to outgive God. If you really want to be very, very wealthy, don't gamble. Don't do the things, I'm just saying as a minister, it's pointless to gamble. The only reason people gamble is to lose. It's an addiction to the adrenaline cycle. It's a waste of time. What I'm saying is a lot of the stocks and a lot of the cryptos are gambling, by the way. I'm just telling you to have a strategy and to have a method and to stick to your strategy and be a principles-based person. So we'll design a principles-based daily structure for you based on you, what you were engineered to do, what is on the heart that God gave you to deal with the people that God assigns to you. And if God's in it, then success is guaranteed. And then the principles kick in. And when the principles kick in, you can scale on top of them. Let that set in. That's what I'm offering. And we're almost full. So I just wanted to come out and say, hey, it's the last call. If you want to do it, the link's below. Just join me. Join me on this journey. And then maybe you'll come to the next workshop in Florida, and it'll be even bigger than the one here. It'll be even sunnier. It'll be even brighter. And you'll be completely a new person, and you'll be ready for the next level again. All right? Scale up. Be a professional. Go all in. Don't let the world hold you back. The world's not going to do anything different than what it always does. It's a law of strife and envy. Nothing's going to change. You have to change. And then what you'll see is you'll see the kingdom open up within that world, and you'll be the light of the world. Don't look around for the light. It's you. You're the light of the world. And you got to sharpen yourself, because if you don't, the world will dull you down, and you'll start to be depressed, and you'll start to get weak, and you'll start to become, lazy, mentally lazy and unfocused. And the only reason people fail is broken focused. You got to be like the eye of the tiger. You got to be eyes on the prize all the time. Don't let anybody steer your focus in the wrong direction. You always got to be aiming at where you're going. Losers focus on what they're going through, and winners focus on where they're going to. It's all focus. If you want to see every great achiever's number one success, it's all focus, and they always have a team. So, can you have an unbeatable focus? It's designed in your daily habits. Do you have the right daily habits? And if not, when would be a good time to do that? And do you have a team? Well, if you don't have a team, then you're an anomaly, because everybody else that's at the highest level has a team. So, when would now be a good time to do that, right? Just a word of advice, just talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself in front of you, because I'm leveling up too. I've got a team, and I'm going to scale up my team, and I'm going to scale up my habits, and I'm going to challenge myself to see if I can even be improved, because I want to give an improved service. I don't want to teach you what I taught you 3 years ago. I want to teach you what God's bringing me to in this next chapter. I want to take everybody who actually spends the time to listen to me, not that many people in this world. So if you do listen to me and you're getting benefit, well, guess what? My heart is to go to the next level to give you even more benefit. And if you have that heart, I promise you'll prosper. So how do I do it? Mentorship. I reach. I invest in the wisdom. I give 100 to it. I get the result, and then I teach it to others. And if you can do that, then success is virtually guaranteed. And if you can't do that, then what excuse is more important? Because you got to get rid of it. There are no excuses in life. The late Bob Suter taught me this. You either did it or you didn't do it. There is no excuse that is acceptable. Like C.T. Fletcher says, right? hey, if you die during your workout, it's still your set. Get up. I live by that credo because think about it. If you give yourself permission to have one excuse, then any excuse will work over time. You'll lower the common denominator, and then it'll be like, well, I had a chocolate this day and I fell asleep on the couch, and then my favorite sitcom came on and I was TikToking for 8 hours and I was Facebooking, and before you know it, that went for 30 more years and I ended up nowhere. I'm not kidding you. The human attention span is less than a goldfish. It's 8 seconds. I know how to undo all that. I know how to give you the tools to have laser focus and flow state and draw out who you are. Because when you discover that, it'll be worth 100 times what you put into this investment. It better be, because that's the real you. And the real you is the reflection of God. And God's value is limitless. And so as you become limitless, because you're the reflection of God, because you are the embodiment of those qualities, well then, who or what's going to stand in your way? There it is. Deal with it.